Hello everyone and welcome back to After Dark, the Near Dark Society talk show where we talk about our past games, current projects, future games, anything else that comes to mind. It kind of goes off the rails every time, so we'll see what happens tonight.
And this week we have actually quite a bit of questions from you guys.
We have
first of all, we want to thank you guys for putting questions in the Discord. And if you're not a member of the Discord, please, we will you can either comment or we'll put a link somewhere in the video. But that's going to be the best way to keep up to date with our information. And then thanks to everyone who also commented on Twitter and on the YouTube comments. So we're going to go ahead and kick it off with the only Twitter question we had from Yoke. So that bloke Yoke.
Put it, screenshot, somewhere.
The question is Bloodlines 2, and this could get into a hot take.
I first of all, let me start with, I love that you were going straight into that when usually we talk about our games first or projects first, then we go into questions. But this, clearly you have something bottled up inside of you today that you just got to get off your chest.
Well, I think this is a long time coming.
I want to say first and foremost, it is not a hot take. It is a very cold take if you think that it's going to be good. I don't think there's anybody on Twitter right now that thinks this game is going to be good.
No, there are.
Well, we could always go around and give our opinions on it.
Yeah.
So Quentin, what's your hot take?
Okay, so trying to be as fair as possible to the World of Darkness license. I think there's no question out there that everyone wants a World of Darkness game, like a true, legitimate World of Darkness RPG that kind of lives up to the same cult classic title that the first Bloodlines got a hold of. But with leads being let go and now entire studios being dropped from the whole project, I mean, we have to look at this as though this is ground zero now. We need to look at this as though throw the trailer out the window, throw the gameplay out the window. We are completely blind on this. We don't know what the future of Bloodlines 2 really is going to be. I don't want to compare this to Cyberpunk 2077. And the issues that it had with it being, the pressure to release it closer and closer to its date, even though it kept getting pushed back until eventually, with the combination of angry fans, making it even worse. Mm-hmm. But eventually, it does boil down to, at some point, someone needs to make money here. Mm-hmm. And I can't think of many people who are gonna, because most of these projects, most of these big games, money's being borrowed. Money is being put into a project, put into a fund. And if the investors aren't seeing a return, they're going to pull out. Mm-hmm. So one way or another, that game is going to eventually come out soon. And I don't think just because it's being...
it's not going to come out soon.
Well...
Eventually.
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 But what I'm trying to say is, I don't think that just because there's more time in between the game development and the release does not necessarily mean good.
Yeah.
Look at Duke Nukem Forever. Look at Shenmue 3.
Aliens Colonial
Marines. Look at Kingdom Hearts 3. Mm-hmm. There's definitely a fear that this could be just a big waste of time.
A big flop.
Yeah.
My opinion, only time will tell, and I'm not gonna get worked up about it. You can whine and bitch on the internet all you want. It's not gonna change anything. So just be patient. Don't have high expectations is my recommendation. Go into it with low expectations, mm-hmm. and either you'll be pleasantly surprised or you're going to be very upset. It's one of the two. And just stewing over it and getting mad and bitter over it, getting pushed off isn't going to help anybody or do anything. So just get over it if you're crying about it, and wait and see. And that's all you can really do, and that's my opinion.
I just hope they find studios that actually want to work on this game.
That's concerning. That's a concerning part.
It's like like you said, you dropped heads of writers from the original game who knew the direction they wanted to take the game into.
See, did they get dropped or did they quit? I'm confused on that part.
That part's murky, honestly.
That part is murky, but from what I understand, they were let go.
Yeah.
See, and why? Why are they letting so many developers go and all these writers go and everything? Are they just flip-flopping on what they want?
I think personally they're not doing what is popular now as far as not wanting microtransactions that's speculation. Obviously, me saying that's speculation, but I could see studio directors not being okay with not doing certain things that other big games are doing currently.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and if you guys have an
That's what
opinion
I
on
can
this, you want to drop it in the comments, let us know. If you guys have any hard facts about what's going on, let us know too, because I don't think any of us know.
So, my opinion, I gave it some thought today, and actually, I kind of touched on it in our chat with this earlier today. I had a feeling with as soon as they started taking people off the project, especially people that were on the project, the first one, Bloodlines 1, that was obviously a red flag. And then I knew that it was going to come down to how many times that, like, even the franchise has just been passed around to begin with. I knew it was going to have to come down to that werewolf game. The werewolf game did not deliver. I think people who are hardcore werewolf fans, they probably enjoyed that game because it's a little bit like...
I think it's mixed. I know a lot of hardcore werewolf fans that are really unhappy with it.
Yeah.
The storyline just being too linear, too mundane, and then the combat being just plain repetitive. I think that game would have been very well done if it was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
If it was more during the style of the linear beat-em-ups that was really popular.
Sure, yeah. Like the era of the John Romero's releasing like edgy content games.
Like the Strangleholds and the Max Paynes and those type of games. But those games are not popular right now.
And then on top of that, I would also say that one of the biggest... The era that we are in video games, I think pre-orders are destroying the franchise.
Absolutely.
Almost on every single game that comes out. It used to be you were pre-ordering to just solidify that you're going to be able to come at midnight, get your stuff real quick, and leave. And now it's like a promise that you're going to get it no matter what is coming out. And I feel like people are just... They threw all their money at Cyberpunk. How many people pre-ordered that? I guarantee you, like, millions. And people were very unsatisfied and then people were literally sending death threats to
which is unnecessary.
Super
very
unnecessary.
Because this is a video game.
A bunch of fucking children.
So like I could not fathom the pressure that developers have now with like or like they don't have pressure. Maybe they don't have to feel like they have to put out a quality finished game anymore if they already have the promise of the money that's coming to them.
Yeah, and I will to add to that as well. They were selling, I believe, like $120 deluxe editions of this game.
Yeah.
So on top of that, you got people like us who are like super into Bloodlines, super into Vampire in general, who are out there like deservedly mad to a certain extent. Like especially if you pay $120 for this game and 2 years ago, like. Where's my game at? Where's my deluxe stuff at? You know what I mean?
Honestly, and with because Bloodlines came out how long ago now? How many years?
I believe it came out in 2004.
So, I personally didn't pre-order anything because I was like, wow, they're just now putting out 2. How far away from the original source are we at this point? How can it be anywhere near the original game? Yeah. Because it's been how long ago now? You're not gonna have the same. You're not having the same writers, not the same developers, any of that at this point.
And not even the same.
I'm not expecting it to be good.
Yeah, and not even the same preferred style of game anymore.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
And what do they have to do to make it popular enough to have other people that aren't just diehard fans buy this game?
Yeah.
What are you gonna give to people who don't know shit about Vampire or Werewolf or whatever?
And are they going to be able to produce the magic that made it a cult classic to begin with?
I think part of the magic from the first one was the fact that there wasn't really any other there wasn't any other World of Darkness games that were really available for the fans. And I think with the hype around Cyberpunk 2077, the hype around Bloodlines, with the hype around even the new Baldur's Gate, I'm just saying this, that I think it's a real plausibility here that there's a big market for people who want to see tabletop RPGs turned into another media format, whether it be cinema, whether it be video games.
Well, shit, look at Critical Role. They have their own animated series now.
I mean, it is definitely, we are on the cusp of a big TTRPG I would say popularity boom.
Yeah, I just saw an article yesterday actually about they're questioning now if TTRPGs is going to be the new MCU.
Yeah, and that is very possible. I mean, Dungeons and Dragons has tried for decades now to get it off the ground as far as their movies go, but they are all terrible. There's not a single.
You don't like Darkest Dungeons?
There's not a single good one unless you're watching it for the bad content. If that's the case, you would find a gold mine.
Super.
But yeah, I could definitely see that within the next 10 years, I easily can see us seeing a Dungeons and Dragons movie, and one with a legitimate budget and a legitimate cast.
Yeah.
Or even maybe not even a movie, maybe even a TV show. I actually think it would do a lot better as a TV show.
I could have sworn there was already a D&D movie in the works.
It's possible. It could be.
Yeah, I think there is one.
I may be informed. And of course, if you guys have any opinions on this, again, we love to see your comments, because the more sides of a story you get, the more perspectives you get on something, that really, can open your mind into new ways of looking at things that you never thought of before.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people right now, especially with how the internet works today, how social media works, every time you like something, every time you share something, social media is kind of creating an algorithm to give you the content that you want to see. And a lot of times that can make you very narrow-minded, because you're only getting the things that you like to see. So you don't get a different perspective on things.
Sure. Speaking of that, though, what were other questions?
Let's go
So
ahead
we can
and
stop running on that tangent.
and move on to
Before
another
we're here for
question.
an hour.
So this one, we'll save the question for me for the end. This will move into our weekly game, but this one is from our new fan, longtime viewer. Same question as every week. When the F will I get more Hellgate? Great question.
Do you censor yourself?
No, that's what he put.
Oh, also that's Ritalin. Ritalin is
He
who asked
put
that
put F as an EFF.
question here. Screenshot.
Ritalin, great question. We should be getting it. Apologize. We should be getting it this upcoming Monday. So by the time you see this video, by the upcoming Monday, we should be launching our Hellgate 1.2 beta. If you are
What's the date? Monday. Somebody find out the date.
It's 29.
This Monday?
This coming Monday.
The first?
29th?
Is it the
We'll
first?
trust Chad. He knows math, and this applies, I guess.
But I've been working very, very hard on the 1.2 beta. I want to release it for the Patreon members as we launch it on Monday. That way you guys get a chance to look at it. I was going to put it into the Lore Master category. So if anyone who is signed up for that, you'll get to have the whole PDF that I have already. And I still have to work quite a bit on it, but I think this will be a real cool playtest. I am only planning it for 5 to 6 episodes, just because it's not completely finished. I don't want you guys to get too head deep into a big story without the mechanics being fully fleshed out, but I think you guys are going to greatly enjoy it, and I took note of a lot of your guys' critiques on the first go-around, so I'm excited.
Playing off of the Patreon thing, I'm not sure if we mentioned it last After Dark, but we do have tiers in Patreon where you can have a monthly D&D game with Quentin as the DM.
Mhm.
So if you're someone who's struggling to find a game, a consistent DM or a consistent party, and that's something that interests you, I believe it's, what are the tiers, $25?
So there is a, I believe it's the $50 tier will get you your monthly game with myself. It's non-canonical because it all takes place within the Faramine universe. However, if you upgrade to the $75 tier, then it would become canonical. So your character would be added and introduced into the Faramine. So the Death Attack series, if you guys watch that, your character would be canonical. And I think right now we have 3 people who are already signed up for, we did January's game. It was a lot of fun, and we're getting ready to do the second game. So if you sign up right now, there's already a party waiting for you to join. So
I'll put a little screenshot of our tag and
Click
everything for Patreon. If you're interested, go check it out. We have other tiers with other things. Also, maybe realize we never posted the vlog video for the tier this month, so we're going to have to do 2 vlog videos next month to make up for that.
And if you are also curious about it, or if you guys enjoy Lavenday's character, the whole Patreon story campaign takes place in Bolstead. So, the homeland of Lavenday.
Excuse me.
Chad's going to pay to play that. Okay, so, yeah. We went off another tangent. Sorry, Rain. But yeah, Hellgate should be this coming Monday.
Let's move on to our next question.
We
This-
go on a lot of
Yeah, we
tangents.
do. Actually, you should put a tangent counter in the corner.
The best part about this is it's, we edit this, so we don't have to.
Anyway, tangent counter.
Future editor, don't edit anything.
Okay.
Leave it all
Just
in.
tell me. I'm the editor.
Okay. For our next question by Pauper Prince within our Discord, how many hours does Falmer spend admiring his new physique in the mirror? Also, will he ever take that belt off now?
I don't think he's gotten a chance really to admire himself in the mirror yet.
Great. Now he has the idea.
Yeah, I definitely will have to do that. Bet you there's some mirrors in Neve.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna have a chance to look at any mirrors while we're there.
Ooh.
We're gonna probably be on the brink of dying.
Ooh. But no, and will he ever take it off? Would you? Would you? Probably
Well,
not.
I guess that answers that question.
Probably not. I mean,
Not even to bathe.
you don't have fake muscles. It's still your skin.
Yeah, but if you take
No, I mean your belt.
You take the
If
belt.
you take the belt off
Oh.
to bathe, what the fuck?
Did you think she meant your
It's
muscles?
It's the, oh my god, there's just skin on the ground.
Oh god.
I did it again.
the Alzheimer's are back.
I did it again.
And there's actually a comment about how they appreciated Cookie's role playing in the Alzheimer's, the
they're-
king that's riddled with dementia.
They were also deeply concerned for him.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's like-
Guys, I was just cold.
Next question.
Okay, coming up on our next question. This one is from Sora, Kingdom Warrior. What system do you all want to play next?
Wraith.
The apocalypse?
Yeah. No, I don't think it's Apocalypse. What?
That's Werewolf. It's
The
Wraith,
Oblivion.
Wraith the Oblivion.
I'm pretty sure it's Wraith the Apocalypse. Anyway.
Wraith the Masquerade. I would love to play Wraith the Masquerade next. I keep looking over and just laughing because we keep both just doing this. We're both just sitting here like.
Fun Gemini fact of the day, that's often a high sign of empathy when you mirror somebody else.
Oh.
Who's mirroring who though?
You're mirroring Christy.
Because you're quadruple
You're
cancer.
quadruple cancer.
Anyway, the game that I want to play. Fuck. I would like to try Colt only because and we might talk about, I'm sure we'll talk about this later. But during the virtual horror con,
Oh yeah, we gotta talk about that later.
they used the Colt engine or mechanics to make a Silent Hill game. So, hey, if you could do that with the mechanics, I would love to try something
I think
like that.
Colt is definitely a system that's very versatile from what I've seen. And seeing that Jaded has already played it and she really enjoyed it, definitely tells me that it's probably heavily story driven.
What does that mean?
You are a
Sir.
you are a heavily story driven RPer.
I
hate
don't know how to
mechanics.
You hate any sort of complicated.
I don't know how to do addition.
A dungeon? Let me just check out till we're done.
Pretty much. Well, no, that's not true because as soon as I hear dungeon, I'm checked out. But as soon as he puts a map down, I'm like, okay, I'm back. I love the map.
I would love to try out Wraith Mage, and I would love to try out that Hunter Western that we've always talked about. But I wouldn't mind trying out that Star Wars game we're going to try out. That's a new system.
That's actually going to be my system that I'm very, very much looking forward to. Fantasy Flight Star Wars TTRPG.
I wouldn't mind trying out at least once Warhammer. Just to say that.
No, I keep
that I've
hearing about
tried it.
Warhammer.
Just as not as a TTRPG, but as a war game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So expensive.
Yeah.
So expensive to get into Warhammer. It is definitely not a hobby for anyone who does not have a lot of disposable income.
And
Kind of like Magic cards.
and time as well for something like that.
Time as well, because you got to paint them. I do enjoy paintings, painting minis, which actually reminds me I need to paint your mini and Kaz's mini and Jezebel's mini before the next game.
Oh, so did it actually? It came?
They both of them came. Yeah,
Oh.
I posted in the chat.
Oh,
You just don't look.
I'm-
Zoom in on his face when you edit that. Zoom in on that.
All right, next question.
Okay, next question. Similarly, by Cutlip, they ask, what are the table's favorites systems and why? So, what would be your favorite system that you have played so far?
Isn't that the last question that we were asked?
No,
Or
that
we
was
want to
what
play?
you want to play.
Yeah,
what
what-
is your favorite you have played?
I'm just going with vampire because it's less complicated than D&D. I play these games just for story and character development. When you start breaking...
Did you just get defensive about this?
I was being facetious, okay? But yeah, everybody fucking knows that. If you've been watching this for a while, you know I don't like mechanics. I'm there for the story, I'm there for roleplay. So the simpler the mechanics are, the better, because I have a very short attention span. So yeah, I'm gonna go with vampire. Vampire's pretty good for me.
I think the alien one was similar to the vampire in that the vampire mechanics in that you roll your regular die. As long as you get a 6, 1 6, that's all you need. No matter what you're rolling.
One success.
It equates to a success. Any other 6s let you do other things. Add a stress die if you have to push a roll, kind of like Call of Cthulhu.
Mm-hmm.
Call of Cthulhu can get a little bit weird. Speaking of mechanics, I don't know if I like that percentage system because it's so fucking random. But yeah, I think Aliens was pretty fun. It was like a nice mix of like the Call of Cthulhu aspect of it, where you can like push a roll and stuff, and the vampire mechanics where you have like your hunger dice, your stress die basically, and then you can roll whatever else you want to.
VHC plug real quick. If you guys didn't watch Chad's game he was in, which was, I think, it was based off The Thing, essentially. It was a prequel, or...
Yeah, Brother Wes made it based on...
Carrying Comfort Studios.
Yes, Carrying Comfort. It was essentially, thematically, he took from, like, The Terror, he said. The Terror and The Thing. So. Yeah,
it was pretty cool. But yeah, if you guys are interested in that kind of horror, definitely body horror and all that, check that game out. It should be either on Gehenna Gaming's channel, or it'll be on Carrying Comfort's YouTube channel. What about you, Cookie?
Honestly, I like both Pathfinder 3.5 and Pathfinder 1.
But essentially D&D 3.5.
Yeah. And I really like D&D 5e. It's so streamlined, and I've just made characters just to make characters. That's how. Like,
I don't get those people.
Yeah.
I don't get those people who are just like, I just made a character just cause. Like,
I just have a catalog of characters.
What is wrong with you? Are you also a fucking sociopath?
Some people like the mechanical value of it.
Yeah, not D&D, but when we were doing Pathfinder, I had like 3 characters. I just made like one right after another.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Because I enjoyed just making the characters. You know?
So fucking odd.
I think I really enjoyed 3.5 because the complexity in which you could kind of like alter your character. But the issue with 3.5 is that complexity really wasn't that drastically dramatic from another character. It just, you ended up having to combo so many feats and so many traits that just, in the end of the day, they did such a small beneficial factor to your character that it just, you lose it. A lot of times you would lose it, and I enjoy 5e much better. I think 5e, the streamlined approach to it, is nice. Do I miss a little bit of complexity in the D&D 5e? Yeah, I do. But I would much rather take the easier to play and easier to storytell and RP mechanic over the 3.5 crunchiness. However, I would say that so far my favorite system that I have played, as of now, is Call of Cthulhu. Not gonna lie, I enjoyed using 2 die, rolling it, and it's a percentile system. Because you have a massive win to loss ratio that you could be greatly depending on your character's stats. And let's just say that it definitely changed my approach on how I am going to go into Hellgate. So
interesting.
There will be definitely percentile rolls in Hellgate. Sorry, Chad. But
it's fine. No, I don't care.
Well, that was a hefty one. Next question.
All right.
Hefty. I'm editing that out.
Our next question is by Pauper Prince again. For Captain Jez, who's the first mate aboard the Friendship?
See, I'm fucking stupid. So I read that earlier in our Discord, and I was like, what does he mean? So he means essentially who's her best friend? Is that what he means?
No. I couldn't tell if he was asking if like who legitimately is your first mate.
No.
Because he said the Friendship, and he called it a pun.
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
friend.
because
Good
friend
We're
on the ship.
Yeah. She doesn't have one.
I think after the ending of last episode, it's pretty clear she does not want
And
attachments.
I don't think Popper has caught up to that. I think he's on the previous one from the last one. So, herself.
Yeah, that's actually a good
I love
response
this.
to that.
F is for friends and
The next question is from Alvara, and it's a silly question. Why is Cookie fear of the cat?
Fear of the cat.
Oh, because I think you mentioned something about Vlad being afraid of Vlad.
Why are you afraid of Vlad?
I'm not afraid of that. I respect Vlad because I know what Vlad can do.
And Vlad is a boy.
Vlad, he's what we like to call a murder monster. He likes to bite you. He likes to scratch you. He gets mad over the smallest things, and he'll make sure that you know that he's mad. He'll stalk you. He'll come out when you don't even realize it. He likes to go for the feet. He's just a scary kitty boy. He's scary.
He literally thinks he's much bigger than he really is. That's the problem.
Yeah, he also kind of goes into gargoyle mode sometimes too. Like, you'll just be in the kitchen, all of a sudden you look up, and he's just like death staring you from over the fucking cabinet by the ceiling. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
But that's why. And he has a good reason to be scared.
Next question. And the question is from ElGranPedro. And he asks, what moment brought out the preferred emotions from your players, like fear, fury, sadness, or just euphoric joy? So I would assume that's probably more directed towards me.
I would assume so.
I'm going to I don't want to dwell on the question too terribly long, but I'm going to go ahead and say that my favorite thing I like to see my players do from my storytelling is jaw drops. Whether it's fear, whether it's a twist, whether it's connecting dots. I like it when I see a player do like one of these, like.
I feel like you get that shit from me a lot.
Yeah, you do. You
seen
definitely
comments. I'm seeing a lot of comments that I'm very facially responsive. That sounds kind of gross.
Facially responsive.
But we're gonna stick with it. Yeah, I especially when I go through and I like do clips or anything for Twitter, and I notice I'm like, goddamn, dude, I make a lot of fucking faces while this game's going.
This is a question from our YouTube comments. This one is done
I
by
don't know what it is.
Batter Dawn. And Batter Dawn asks, Vampire 4? Vampire? Yes.
Oh.
Screenshot.
And I would just like to say, we responded to you in the comments, but absolutely, 100% there will be a Vampire 4. So,
Season 4.
Season 4.
Yeah.
Regardless, though, thank you for leaving your comments, and if you have another one this week, please do.
Yeah,
comment.
Season 4 is supposed to be picking up, I should say, in June.
We have like kind of a Vampire 3.2 coming up. Right?
We have
Right?
a little teaser session. It'll be a 2-episode session before Season 4 officially starts, but Quentin will be running that 2-episode little mini... I can't even call it a series. I don't know what to call it. But just like a kind of 2-episode per episode in between. And it will be taking place right after where Season 3 ended. So
Mhm.
it'll be taking place outside of, spoiler alert, after all the Primogen Council and all of that got exploded.
It's going to take part like right there. So
Yeah.
But for the final question for tonight, by myself, for all of you, and then we can kind of go into our talks about the games for
This
this
could be
week.
a long episode.
The question is, what is a character archetype that you will never play?
Oh boy.
I don't think I could be an evil character.
Oh,
Just in
wow.
general.
Okay.
Like a truly evil,
Evil character.
like heartless character. I can't play that because I'm not that.
Mhm.
It wouldn't feel right.
I would agree with that, or just straight up just being mean. I've tried it before, and it just it doesn't.
Hellgate?
It doesn't
Actually,
work.
with the first Hellgate, you called her, and I told you that giants are typically very aggressive, very hostile.
I'm just so not aggressive or hostile.
Yeah.
at
You
all.
tried to flip the hot dog stand.
Yeah, it was. I try to correlate it to something because I've seen it. but it was very much like someone who's very not an aggressive, angry person trying to be aggressive and angry.
It goes so against my like demeanor.
Your nature.
Yeah, it's so hard for me to roleplay that.
Funny enough, mine's the polar opposite of what Chad said. I could never be a goody two shoes, do gooder paladin type.
Okay.
I'm okay with other people doing it. I just never want to ever do that. I would have I think the worst part, that'd be like a super challenge, even trying to do just one fucking session like that, because I would break. Eventually, in that very first game, I would break and do something fucked up.
Well, I want to go ahead and I want to cut in and say that I think that all three of you could perform those archetypes if you really, really, put yourself towards it. It is definitely difficult to play something that's outside of your nature. Myself as a dungeon master, I kind of have to. Like, I have to play things that are not like myself. And
I think you like it though.
There's times where it is difficult. Like, there's times where it's like, for example, me playing Sky. Sky is a very tough character for me to play. Mox is a very tough character for me to play.
What's the toughest NPC you've ever played?
I'm going to say that the hardest character or NPC that I have ever tried to play would probably be the Carpenter.
Really?
He's such a disgusting character.
Carpenter, by the way, is in our Death Attack campaign. I think
Yeah.
the first episode or second episode.
For session 0, I think.
I would say
No?
I would say him and
I'll say the merchant too,
I would
because
say-
I know that you like apologize.
the merchant a little bit easier because he's more of in like that Peter Baelish category of just being extremely like manipulative and deceptive. But the Carpenter and even Balefoon,
Oh, yeah.
those are characters that their evil is like on another level. It's like an extremely like focused hate, and it's very hard to put yourself in those shoes, because if you don't actually have those beliefs and you don't think like that, it's kind of just like sickening to play them. But in the end, I understand that it's a game. I know that you guys know it's a game.
Also, Elijah made Baleton, so
Yeah, and
Thank
Elijah
him.
made
Yeah.
Balefoon.
thank
so.
him for that.
Maybe we should make sure he's doing okay.
So, episode 47 was this week, and thoughts? What'd you guys take from it? Because it ended pretty heavy.
Yeah, I feel like it went a direction you were not prepared for, which Elijah definitely instigated that. Elijah's character, Kaz. It went from kind of like, it was supposed to be like a catch-up episode, I feel, to try to get caught up into our main plot that we're working on, and then it kind of derailed into, in a good way, into a very character development heavy session for, I don't know, maybe it was only like 15-minute, 20-minute conversation,
It's
but
kind of the clashing of morals there.
yeah.
I don't think it was a clashing of morals. I think it was a...
It was trying to tear down walls,
It was
essentially.
it was an
Emotional walls.
It was an understanding of your guys' situation and your relationship and being honest with it. Because as of right now, like, you guys are coming up on episode 50. We're almost 50 episodes in. You guys' characters in game have probably been around or with each other for several months now. Yet none of you really know each other, and you are essentially still traveling around with strangers.
And I will insert a quick clip of what happened in that session real quick. So this is a group therapy session.
We should talk about it. We lost people down there.
That's what this lifestyle is. You lose people, and often.
I'm sorry, not everybody that's on the ship is used to it.
Well then, talk away.
I think we should start with each other and move on. My name's Akora Fane, and my family fled the Underdark after the Second War. I was taken in as a slave, and I was sold into the sex trade.
I'm sorry that happened to you, Kaz.
It's just me trying to open up. I think we need to move past this just being a business relationship. There's a little more now.
Well, we put our trust in the Giants, we put our trust in Baruka, and look where that got us. That's where trust gets you. So let's keep this short, alright? If you guys want to continue talking about your favorite candy, or your parents,
My mother's name is Poppy.
great.
Jess, if you're going to be a dreadnought or whatever, king of the pirates, you're going to have a lot of people following you. A lot of people that you're going to want underneath your banner. You're going to have to trust something.
I've been doing this for 4 years now, guys. You don't just trust pirates. Doesn't really do much good.
Falmer and I aren't pirates. This isn't our life, but we still follow you. We still trust you.
Well, I mean, we're pirates now.
Because it was choice. And I think my favorite part of the whole thing, my favorite part of that whole interaction was Jaded didn't back down from her character's like perspective, her character's like beliefs. The fact that her character was like, you know what, that's great and all that you want to like hold hands and have us all get lovey-dovey and know each other, but we're really all in this for ourselves, so go fuck yourself. And I was just like, man, I was trying so hard to hold my excitement behind the screen, because it was by far one of my favorite RP moments, by far.
Yeah, everyone did a really good job that night.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. I feel like we're really coming into our characters, because I know in the beginning, as I'm sure is the case with a lot of D&D groups or tabletop groups, essentially, it probably takes a little bit to get into your character and feel them out, even after you build them.
Yeah.
Building them and then being them are two different things, and it's like you're having to take time to get to know your character.
Yeah.
I want to bring this up into a case here too, is that if you look at season 1 of Critical Role, and I'll admit that I have not watched season 1 of Critical Role. I've watched a handful of episodes of season 2. I prefer season 2 more, but I will say that when they started off streaming those games, they were well more than 100+ sessions in.
Oh, yeah.
They were very
Absolutely.
established on who their characters were, their beliefs, like what their agendas were. It's a very different vibe when you start off fresh and you don't know your character yet. I mean, and me now beginning to be a player in Vampire, looking back at season 1, looking back at me doing my first episode as Alistair compared to like season 3 of Alistair, completely the character progression, the character change is so massive that I think that it does take sometimes 50, 100+ sessions before you really start to understand, like, I know this character now almost as well as I know myself.
Yeah. And I can attest to that. You know, there are people that really like Lavende as a character, but anytime somebody like tells me that, I'll be like, yeah, just so you know, it has taken me a while to kind of, and I'm still like growing into that, you know, being comfortable playing Lavende.
Yeah.
You know, it is in my headset, I had to learn, and thankfully talking with you as well, learn that it takes time.
Mm-hmm.
And just because you can't maybe get your character in the first 10 episodes or even the first 47 episodes like we're on right now, that doesn't mean that your character's bad or that you're a bad RPer or anything like that. It just takes time. These things are they're so fleshed out story-wise, you know, it takes time.
And that's a good tip for all you dungeon masters or game masters or STs or however you want to, whatever label you want to give yourself. Give your players time. Give them a time to really find their characters and understand who they're playing. Obviously, there are some examples. You do have people who are just straight murder hobos, or they're just in it for like the lulz. Mm-hmm. But for people who are actually wanting to experience a persistent, long campaign where a character is going to try to trek through a great journey, you know, you're going to need to give your players time. Mm-hmm. You, as a game master, you don't you don't necessarily get that luxury, but then again, you also get to create your character in advance and think on them for a long time before you introduce them.
Mm-hmm.
Occasionally, you'll have to make someone up on the spot, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, but yeah, don't for any new player, especially new players, don't worry if your character doesn't fit maybe with the rest of the party. Things grow, people change just in game, just like they do in real life.
Other than that, we have anything else that we want to talk about? Projects?
I think that's it for now.
That's not it.
Oh, there's something else.
Oh, that's not it.
What else? What else is there?
I was listening to, plugging a super unrelated podcast that I listen to called Sweet Boys. Garrett Watson, Andrew Sawicki. Very good podcast if you like random ass. That podcast made me feel so much better about us because goddamn, I even picked up on it and I have ADD. They'll start on a topic, Garrett will derail it, Andrew follows, they never go back to the topic. So they move on to another topic. They did it at least 5 times in this podcast I listened to. 5 times in an hour they did this, and it was driving even me insane. But it was fun to listen to. So yeah, if you like chaos, and then just check out the Sweet Boys podcast. But I was watching that today, and they had brought up a pretty interesting question that I thought we could all talk about. It was just a simple question that was posted on Reddit. Someone had asked, what is one question, like say you're going on a date or something and you want to get to know someone, what is one question you can ask someone that's going to tell a lot about them? So what they suggested was asking someone, what do you want to do? So Chad, what do you want to do?
Oh wait, are you asking me
Yeah.
what I want to do?
What do you want to do?
Oh, I thought you were going to ask me what my question would be. I wasn't prepared for this. What do I want to do?
Like, what do you want to do for a date,
No,
or what
no,
do you
no,
want to
no,
do right
no,
now?
no. What do you want to do?
Like right now? This one.
What do you want to do?
I want to go to a concert.
Okay.
I've been thinking about that for weeks. I need to go see something.
You're starting to really feel it, huh?
Yeah.
Have you been, did you try out any DJs or anything on Twitch? You been watching any of that stuff?
Not really. No.
Hmm.
I just get my headphones on and then pretend that I'm at a concert.
Oh God, are you crying? Oh no. Well, that was a bad question. What do you want to do?
You'll have to come back to me. I need to think about this.
Okay. Classic. Quentin, what do you want to do?
I would like to continue working and striving to achieve my goals so that I can feel accomplished and satisfied with the direction I want to go with my life.
Okay. I want to eat a donut.
Okay.
That's the first thing that came to my
Drastically
mind.
different views.
Justin
Right?
brought me a donut.
Yeah. What about you, Justin? You think about it yet?
I don't know, man. Like, there's a lot of things I want to do. I want to be happy and secure and everything. Pretty much everything everyone wants or is deserving of, for sure. I don't know.
See, it's interesting how like just a simple ask question like that gets different answers. Like that immediately made me think he's very goal oriented and like very thinking about the future a lot. I assume you've been thinking about your future a lot.
Yeah.
Chad is very experience oriented, I feel, and he's missing the social aspect of his life and being able to experience like the things that he enjoys.
Yes.
And Cookie, yeah, I feel like you're in kind of a interesting place right now, huh? And I just want a donut. But if I'm going to roast
I'm
myself,
just hungry.
I just don't like opening up to people, and that's what I'm supposed to be
I was
working
gonna
on.
say you're
That's what I'm supposed to
definitely.
be working on this year, and I have not been doing it.
Okay, if we're gonna get deep here, okay.
Oh my god.
So-
is this the roasted?
Deep talk.
No,
If we're gonna get
roasted.
deep here,
No.
Deep.
I was actually planning
Bubbles.
on waiting till Mental Health Awareness Month to talk about this, but I've talked to everyone here a couple times. But mental health is very important. If you are not ever feeling right, you should definitely seek help. Because nothing's worse than fighting your own mind. But I would say, after talking to a therapist finding out what anything might be wrong or not feeling right. For me, it was perfectionism. So that's where a lot of my, no, I should probably clarify, maladaptive perfectionism. And I think that's where a lot of my indecisiveness comes from, because I can't pick a route. I've unrealistic fears about failure, so it's very hard for me to address certain problems with myself. So that's why, like, my answer is just I want to be happy. I just want to be secure. I want everything everyone else has or should have, and yeah.
It's interesting to me that you, as a person, struggle with perfectionism, and you decided to play a Tremere.
Yeah, that is
almost
completely
like,
coincidental.
I don't think it is, though. I feel like that was maybe even like a subconscious decision.
I had no idea they were perfectionists until
You didn't read that?
After I made the character. I was like, no effing way. So anytime I have a bestial failure, it's like I'm like, oh.
You can't escape it. But I think roleplay is a very interesting way to
Yes.
I think deal with issues that you have.
Be there,
for
very
sure.
therapeutic.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
Which probably has a lot to do with my Jez character right now. After the game, I was like, I feel kind of bad for not saying anything. But as Jez, yes, she probably wouldn't have said anything. Also me, I was like, I don't want to fucking tell these assholes anything. I don't trust them out of game to not fuck me over, so...
What the fuck? The people that have been here for like 15 years. I don't trust you, son of a bitch.
Guys. You just want my fucking life insurance, all of you.
What?
I'm pretty sure is that guy. We've already had that conversation.
Nope.
Off camera.
Nope.
Yeah, guys, if I die, if I go missing or something...
Nope, this is where we end it. This is where we end the episode.
Oh yeah, that's what he's be doing to me. That's the plan.
Okay, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this After Dark. I think we have gone on long enough. So if you guys have any questions for us...
No, I feel like we're forgetting something.
We need to wrap this up. This is going to be like an hour-long episode.
What are we forgetting?
Happy birthday, Chad.
It's not my birthday. You're supposed to be my friend. I thought you knew my birthday.
Make sure you at him on Twitter. Happy birthday.
Alright, guys, I guess that's it. So if you have any questions, I'll pop our email here, afterdarkqa@gmail.com. I'm not pointing down low enough. And then you can put a comment here, down here, YouTube comment. You can go to our Discord. Last time we said there'd be a link. I don't think we ever put a link. Did we?
Nope.
You
We
never
didn't.
did? I reminded
Why
them
are
we
you
still
doing
didn't
this
do it.
right now? Why are you doing this?
So this time it will be a Discord link. As you can see, today our questions, we put little screenshots of the questions from our Discord. So we're in there every day talking. So if you're starting to miss us, just pop in and say hi. Other than that, Twitter, you can ask us a question on our Twitter as well. DM us or whatever. Wow, I sound so enthused. But yeah, I think that is it for the night, guys. So we will see you, if you watch Twitch, we'll see you Sunday for Death Attack. If not, we'll see you whenever we post the next one. Or in Discord. There's a link, right, Quentin?
I can do
There's a link now.
Use the sign now.
Bye.
Cross your fingers.
No, that's our tips.